A full-grown lion is feeding on a kill in the late Miocene grassland of North America. It is not rushing. It has no reason to rush. Nothing on this continent challenges a lion at a kill. And then something appears on the edge of the tree line. The lion looks up. What it sees is not another lion. 400 pounds of dog with a skull so wide and deep that when scientists found its fossil millions of years later, they classified it as a bear for years before the evidence corrected them. The lion leaves the kill, not slowly, it leaves. And the dog walks up to the carcass alone and begins to eat. That's one of the most terrifying extinct dogs on this list. Number 7, Hesperocyon, the dog that started everything. It is 40 million years ago. The forests of what will become South Dakota are dense and dark and full of small things that do not yet know what a canid is. Hesperocyon is the size of a house cat. Nothing about it looks dangerous. Its body is long and low. Its legs are short. It moves through the undergrowth in quick bursts and feeds on small mammals and anything it can run down in the leaf litter. But Hesperocyon carries something that nothing else moving through these forests has in quite the same form. An ankle bone structured differently from every competitor around it. A small modification that allows more speed on uneven ground than its body size should produce. And a brain slightly larger relative to its body than anything else in this environment. It does not look like the beginning of something terrifying, and that is exactly what makes it the most important entry on this list. Because every animal above it, every killing machine the canid family ever produced, starts here. With a cat-sized animal in a dark forest that moved slightly faster than everything else and remembered slightly more. The most terrifying things never announce themselves at the beginning. Number 6, Borophagus, the dog that ate what nothing else could. It is 12 million years ago. The kill has been picked clean. The lions have eaten, the early wolves have taken what remained, the vultures have stripped the bones, and the grassland is quiet, and the carcass is just a skeleton, half buried in the dust. Borophagus arrives alone. It weighs around 150 pounds, and its face is wrong in a way that takes a moment to understand. The skull is too short, the jaw is too wide, the back teeth are thick and flat, in a way that no modern dog's teeth are, and it walks up to the skeleton that every other predator abandoned and begins to eat the bones. Not gnaw, eat. The jaw closes and the femur cracks like dry wood. The marrow inside, dense with fat and nutrients, goes down. The structural calcium of the bone goes down. Nothing is left. After Borophagus passed through, there was no trace, no remains, no evidence that anything had died there at all. For millions of years, it was the last word on every kill on the North American continent. And nothing could take that position from it because nothing else could do what it did. Number 5, Xenocyon, the dog that crossed continents. 1 million years ago, a pack moves through open woodland in northern Europe. They are large, longer-legged than modern wolves. Their coordination is tighter than anything else sharing this landscape. Xenocyon has crossed from North America through Asia and into Europe and Africa, and it has brought with it a hunting system the prey animals of these continents have never encountered. Not the ambush of the big cats, not the solo pursuit of early wolves. A relay system, groups splitting and rotating, taking turns driving prey across distances that exhaust the target long before the pack exhausts itself. And Xenocyon is doing this while competing directly with early human hunters who are using the same landscape and the same prey base. Two coordinated, intelligent hunters on the same continent targeting the same animals. For a time, the outcome of that competition is not obvious. Xenocyon is faster. It is stronger individually. What the early humans have is fire, tools, and the ability to cut the prey base out from under Xenocyon faster than Xenocyon can adapt. The dog that crossed 3 continents and hunted alongside early humans as a competitor rather than a companion disappeared when the prey disappeared. One of the closest near misses in evolutionary history, a dog that almost won. Number 4. Protocion, the dog that killed giants. 40,000 years ago in South America, a pack of mid-sized dogs is doing something that should not be physically possible. They are hunting a giant ground sloth, an animal the size of an elephant, an animal that weighs 30 times what any individual dog in this pack weighs. Protocion is not large. It is not particularly fast. It absolutely should not be able to kill what it is killing. But it has something the giant ground sloth has no counter for. A pack that does not stop. Ever. The sloth turns to face one group and another group hits it from behind. It turns again. Another group closes. The coordination is relentless across 12 animals moving as a single system. The sloth, which has no predator in its evolutionary history that required it to defend all directions simultaneously, has no answer. It tires, it stumbles, and Protocion finishes what it started. When humans arrived in South America and hunted the giant ground sloths to extinction, they removed the prey base Protocion had built its entire existence around. The dog that killed giants disappeared when the giants did, and nothing alive today hunts the way it hunted. That specific combination of coordination and patience targeted at something impossibly large is gone from the world permanently. Number 3. Dire wolf. The dog that committed to everything. It is 11,000 years ago, and the last dire wolf is doing what dire wolves have always done, following the vultures. Somewhere ahead, something large has died, and the vultures know. It and the dire wolf knows the vultures, and this chain of knowledge has fed it for 100,000 years. The dire wolf weighs 150 pounds. Its jaw closes at 3 times the force of a modern grey wolf. Its teeth are built for crushing bone, and its body is built for one specific job on one specific continent. And it has been doing that job without modification for longer than modern humans have existed. But the large things are disappearing. The mammoths are gone. The giant ground sloths are gone. The horses and camels of North America are gone. And the vultures are circling less. And the dire wolf, which has never needed to be anything other than what it is, has no instructions for a world that no longer needs what it offers. It does not go hungry immediately. It does not lose a fight. It simply finds fewer vultures to follow each season, until one season there are none. The most committed specialist the canid family ever produced ends not with a confrontation, but with an absence. A world that stopped asking the question it was built to answer. Number 2. Aenosian Dirus Rex. The version that should not have gotten larger. Most people know the direwolf. Fewer know that within the direwolf lineage, isolated populations in specific environments developed into something measurably larger and more structurally extreme than the standard form. In the bone beds of South America, specimens have been recovered that exceed the North American direwolf in skull depth, jaw width, and estimated body mass by a margin significant enough that researchers continue to debate whether they represent a separate population or a separate animal entirely. Picture the direwolf you know. Now add 20% to every measurement that matters. Wider skull, deeper jaw, heavier body on the same leg structure, which means shorter effective speed, but dramatically higher bite force. An animal that did not need to chase because the moment it closed distance, the encounter was already decided. This version of the direwolf lineage did not spread. It did not cross continents. It existed in specific pockets of South America, and it dominated those pockets completely, and it disappeared with the megafauna it was built to process. The most extreme expression of the most committed specialist in canid history, built to a level of specialization that made even the standard direwolf look flexible by comparison. Number 1. Epicyon haydenoi, the dog that made lions leave. Back to the opening scene, the lion at the kill, the shadow at the tree line. When paleontologists first found Epicion's skull, they classified it as a bear. The skull was too wide and too deep, and the jaw was too powerful to fit their mental model of what a dog could be. It took years of additional fossil evidence to confirm what the skeleton was saying. This was a dog, the largest dog that ever lived. 400 pounds, a lion-sized body on legs built for short, explosive acceleration. A jaw generating force close to a spotted hyenas, the strongest bite of any land predator alive today. And Epicion did not hunt. Not primarily, it followed kills. It located carcasses by tracking competing predators. And when it arrived, the competing predators left. Because the calculation every other predator made when Epicion appeared on the horizon was identical. There is nothing here worth what it would cost to stay. For millions of years, Epicion was the final authority on every kill it approached. Not through speed, not through pack coordination, through the simple, overwhelming physical fact of what it was. And when the megafauna declined and the kills became smaller and rarer, the body that had made it unstoppable became a liability it could not feed. It needed too much. The world stopped providing enough, and the most physically dominant dog that ever existed disappeared. Not because something finally challenged it, but because the kills it had never needed to fight for stopped being there to find. The dog that made lions leave had no plan for a world with nothing left to take. 8 entries, 7 extinct animals, one lineage that produced bone crushers and giant killers and continent crossers, and an animal that cleared lions from their own kills without making a sound. The domestic dog on your couch is the last surviving branch of this family. And the reason it survived while everything above it disappeared is not that it was stronger or faster or more dangerous. It found a different strategy entirely. It stopped trying to dominate the world and started trying to understand the one species remaking it. Whether that was the smartest move any canid ever made, or the most dependent, is a question worth sitting with. If the history of what predators can actually become is what keeps you watching, our last video is the sharpest version of that story we have made. Watch baboons tear a spotted hyena to shreds next. No size advantage, no armor, no fossil record of dominance, just coordination meeting raw power. And the outcome was decided before the first bite landed.